General Hospital spoilers reveal that what fascinates me most these days is the attention Liz is receiving from Cullum while she lies recovering in the hospital. Liz has always been the steady heart of the show, the dedicated nurse who puts everyone else first. But this new chapter feels markedly different from the original stories that defined her. Back then, her connections to Jason were rooted in quiet love and shared history as the mother of Jake. Now, her growing suspicion that Jason is not the one who actually shot Cullum marks a refreshing evolution. She senses something deeper at play, a hidden truth Jason may be protecting, some darker evidence he's trying to keep buried. I ask myself, could this be the turning point that shows us a more proactive, determined Liz than we've ever seen? The answer comes quickly through the writing. Yes, and it adds such compelling layers to her character. Liz is quietly investigating who really shot Cullum, and she is doing everything in her power to bring Jason home safely. This determination feels like a beautiful new obsession for her, one born from maternal love for Jake and the lingering bond she shares with Jason. It stands apart from earlier arcs where she often stepped back to let others lead. Here, Liz is stepping forward with clear purpose, calculating every move carefully while staying true to her compassionate nature. The show is proving once again how masterfully it can adjust familiar relationships into something fresh and urgent. Every conversation she has with Cullum, every careful question she asks, builds that delicious tension that keeps me glued to the screen. Cullum may be playing the friendly patient, but Liz is far too smart to be fooled for long. Her quiet doubts are growing, and I believe they will lead her down paths that surprise us all. What makes this storyline even more electrifying is how it is pulling other lives into the light. The day is coming when Rocco's role in the chaos at the dock and Britt's efforts to cover it up will finally be revealed. That revelation promises to be one of the most powerful adjustments we've witnessed in recent years. Rocco has grown into a young man carrying heavy burdens, and Britt, with her fierce loyalty, has stepped in to shield him. In the original telling of these characters, such secrets often destroyed families, but this time, the show seems ready to explore healing through truth, letting the exposure push everyone toward growth rather than mere destruction. I can already feel the emotional ripple effects spreading across Port Charles. How will Lulu react when she learns the full story? How will this change the fragile new dynamics between families? The writers are taking us farther than before, and the journey feels both intense and deeply satisfying. Jason himself remains at the center of this gathering storm, possibly hiding evidence that could change everything we think we know. The possibility that he is protecting someone or something bigger than himself adds such richness to the tale. It differs from his classic lone wolf protector days because this time the consequences stretch across generations, touching Jake, Liz, and even young Rocco. As a longtime viewer who has cheered Jason through countless trials, I find this version of his story profoundly moving. It shows how even the strongest characters carry burdens that test their limits, and it reminds me that real life, like Port Charles, rarely offers simple answers. The beauty of these intertwined plots lies in how they reflect the passage of time while daring to evolve. Liz's investigation, her refusal to accept easy explanations about Jason, and the impending exposure of what really happened with Cullum create a sense of momentum that feels unstoppable. I sit with my tea each afternoon, heart full of anticipation, wondering what Liz will uncover next and how far she is willing to go to bring Jason back. Will her search heal old wounds or open new ones? The show answers these questions with such care and craft that I trust every twist. This current era of General Hospital feels alive with possibility. The careful calculations Liz is making, the new obsessions driving her actions, and the larger adjustments reshaping relationships prove that the writers understand what longtime fans cherish most: characters who grow while staying true to their hearts. The drama is building beautifully, layer upon layer, pulling in mothers and sons, old loves and new secrets. Port Charles has never felt more vibrant or more emotionally charged. I've spent decades with these characters, and moments like this remind me why I return every single day. The warmth of Liz's determination, the suspense surrounding Jason's hidden truth, and the coming revelations about Rocco and Britt create the perfect blend of heart and excitement that defines the very best of the show. Everything is moving forward in the most captivating ways, and I cannot wait to see where the road leads. Whether Liz succeeds in bringing Jason home or discovers even deeper mysteries along the way, one thing is certain: the story is only growing richer, and I will be right here, savoring every heartfelt moment with my fellow fans. General Hospital continues to deliver the kind of compelling drama that makes these golden years of watching so very special. The best chapters are unfolding right now, and I feel truly fortunate to share the journey. One of the most compelling new developments is Liz taking decisive action to save both Drew and Jason. This isn't the quiet, supportive Liz we knew in earlier years, who often stayed in the background offering care and comfort. This version of her shows a fierce new obsession, a determination that marks a refreshing change from the original storylines. She is stepping forward with purpose, calculating every move as she works to protect two men who have meant so much to her and to her son Jake. I ask myself how one woman can carry so much on her shoulders, and the show answers beautifully by showing her strength growing in ways we haven't seen before. This new adjustment adds such richness to her character, blending her nurturing nurse side with a bolder, more proactive spirit that feels both surprising and completely right for this chapter of her life. Liz's efforts to help Drew while simultaneously fighting to bring Jason home create layers of tension and tenderness that make every episode feel electric. She senses the larger dangers surrounding both men, and her refusal to sit still proves how deeply she cares. This obsession isn't reckless. It's rooted in love and loyalty, the kind that longtime viewers have come to cherish in our favorite characters. It stands apart from past arcs where relationships often pulled her in different directions. Now, Liz seems focused on healing and protecting, even as the risks around her continue to build. The writers are handling this evolution with such care, letting her grow while staying true to the compassionate heart that first made us fall in love with her. At the same time, the possibility of Jason's return to Port Charles adds another thrilling layer of anticipation. If Jason comes back, it will mark one of the most significant adjustments we've seen in recent memory, bringing fresh changes that ripple through so many lives. I've watched Jason through countless storms, and the idea of him stepping back into the canvas after everything that's happened feels both inevitable and exciting. His homecoming could shift the balance in ways that surprise us all, touching friendships, old loves, and new threats. Will he return carrying the weight of what happened with Cullum? How will his presence change the delicate dynamics Liz is trying so carefully to protect? The show is proving once again that it knows how to bring characters home in meaningful ways, creating stories that feel bigger and more emotionally charged than before. These intertwined plots are what make General Hospital so special after all these decades. Liz's growing obsession with saving both Drew and Jason, combined with the promise of Jason's return, creates a sense of momentum that keeps the entire town feeling alive and connected. The careful adjustments the writers are making allow old relationships to evolve naturally while introducing new challenges that test everyone involved. I love how the story honors the history between Liz and Jason, the shared parenthood of Jake, and the complicated ties to Drew, all while pushing forward into uncharted territory. It reminds me why I've stayed loyal for so long. This show grows with its characters and with us, the audience. As I sit with my tea each day, reflecting on the latest episodes, I feel that familiar rush of warmth and suspense. Will Liz succeed in bringing both men safely through this storm? How will Jason's return reshape the landscape of Port Charles? These questions linger in the best possible way, making the days between episodes feel full of pleasant anticipation. The new obsessions driving Liz, the bold changes in her approach, and the exciting prospect of Jason coming home prove that General Hospital still has so much heart and fire to offer. Everything feels like it's moving forward in the most captivating directions, pulling longtime fans closer to the screen with every passing scene. I've shared so many years with these characters that moments like this feel personal. Liz's courage, her quiet calculations, and her deep desire to protect those she loves reflect the kind of strength many of us admire in real life. The show handles these storylines with such respect and warmth that even the most intense drama never feels harsh. Instead, it leaves room for hope, connection, and the promise of brighter days ahead. Jason's potential return only heightens that sense of possibility, suggesting new chapters filled with reconciliation, revelation, and the enduring bonds that define life in Port Charles. This current era of the show feels truly special. The adjustments being made, the new obsessions taking root, and the changes on the horizon create a tapestry of storytelling that honors everything we've loved, while daring to explore fresh emotional ground. I trust the writers completely, knowing they understand what makes these characters matter to us after all this time. The heat is building beautifully, and the best moments are still unfolding right in front of us.